Hello everybody, Gisele Grenier here. In this video lesson I'm going to be creating something with a gypsy vibe to it, using a lot of earth tones and some mixed metals. So what I've got for supplies, I've got some Decor Art Media, white gesso, matte medium, and I've got the fluid acrylics, transparent red iron oxide, burnt umber, and I've got titanium white, but I don't think I'm going to need it. And then for the metallics, I've got matte metallics from Deco Art, champagne, and aged bronze. And I love this one because it looks like molten metal. I've got a piece of cardboard that I cut out from an Amazon. No, what was this? I have no idea. I'm thinking an Amazon box, but I'm not sure now. And I just gave it a quick coat of gesso. I'm going to put 2 coats of gesso on this. And then what I've got is I've got this Gypsy girl from Graphics Fairy who has some beautiful printables. I've got a piece of cardboard that I tore off of this. I've got that piece there. And then I've got this thing here. This was on a candle, and I don't think this is real leather. The price I paid for the candle, it should be real leather, but I'm thinking it's probably more synthetic around with twine. So I'm taking that and took this off the candle because Chaos was determined to get to the candle, and now she's no longer with us. I'm kind of missing those moments, so I'm going to use that in there. I got this quite a while ago from Patricia, and it's some napkins, and it says summer savory, sweet basil, and lavender, and I love the color of this. Thank you, Patricia, for sending this. I'm going to use that. And the quote, "Put your mind into planning today, look into the future." And a lot of you have been sending me messages saying, why am I using so many of these quotes? I like to take these quotes for motivation, especially the times that we're in right now. And then I take these, I look at them, how they can apply to my own life. And right now, like, getting over the loss of Chaos, but we're also on the side is that Joe and I started yet another business. And most of you know this already, where we're making these custom pens and one-of-a-kind pens. And the idea was to make the pens, but it's gone even further than that now, that we're designing these pens to help you focus your thoughts and get them down onto paper. And that's where this comes in perfectly. Put your mind into planning today, which is what we're doing now. We're building everything up and looking to the future, and that's something we can do from anywhere in the world. We just have to bring the lathe with us. So Joe figured that out, that we don't have to bring this massive lathe, that he can get this small lathe that we can fit into a suitcase. So we just have to pay for the extra weight. Anyway, so let's get started. So I'm going to start off with the gesso. Now, I'm experimenting with this one. With this gesso, I took the Decor Art Media gesso, and it was really, really thick. I don't think I capped it right. And I added some of the chalky gesso, which is really, really thin. And what we're going to get is a really nice, a chalky, thick gesso. So I didn't know how else to say it. So let's prep this. So with this one here, the cardboard is one of the reasons why I like prepping cardboard with the gesso. First of all, it gets rid of the brown, because the brown kind of changes the color of the paint. But the other thing is that because gesso, the card is raw, when you put the paint on, it just sinks into the substrate, and you end up using a lot more product. Gesso is much more economical than paint, and you also get it in many thicknesses. So if you didn't like all these ridges, use super thick gesso. And I have a video on how to make your own super thick gesso I use specifically the Decor Art Media gesso. You can even use modeling paste to fill up the cracks. But the gesso, especially when you're using thin substrates, is that it adds some substance to it, nice and thick. So we're going to put that aside to dry. Where? Over there, I guess. Okay. And let me cover that up. Oh, kids are playing outside. It's so nice hearing kids playing outside. Well, they really shouldn't be outside with what's going on in the world right now. Depending on when you're watching this, Canada we're at the end of March break, where stupid people, I'm going to call them stupid people, still decided to go away, and now they're coming back. So COVID-19, we're going to see what's going to happen. And you want to hate me for saying stupid people went away? Go ahead. Anyways, I'm going to tear this up after. Now let's work with this one. Do I even need... Yeah, I'm going to put a little bit of gesso on this. Or do I need to? No, I'm going to see what happens without it. Well, I already did. Because I'm going to put the burnt bronze on there. But I don't think it's going to matter. Let's do that. So burnt bronze. Nice and thick. And I've got the cardboard chipping and, you know, with little frayed pieces. That's fine. I'm also finding, do you find that as you're creating your art, your style is changing? Mine is, where I went through a period, especially when we were doing creating some pens, it was very much Caribbean and stuff like that. And I'm finding, and I was looking at the furniture today in the living room, because now we're having, you know, we're donating all chaos of stuff that we have, you know, no kitty cat condo, all that stuff. And I'm looking at the furniture, I'm thinking, boy, this stuff is really modern, like dark burnt charcoal type of things. And I'm finding that I really like the industrial look. And I've always kind of liked, you know, steampunk and industrial, anything with metal. That's my jam. So I'm thinking that I'm starting to lean that way. And again, back to the vintage stuff as well, and not so much of the cutesy stuff. Some of you are probably going, yay. The cutesy stuff is when I do stuff for the grandkids. And I've got another grandchild, and it'll take probably about 5 years before she'll get into the type of art that I'm doing. So put that over there. All right. What are we going to do with you, girly? I'm going to take a little brush, and I want to edge the paper. I'm going to take burnt umber, and I'm just going to see. Oh, that's too much. That's too much. So let me take a... I drew a blank. Okay, I drew a blank. A makeup sponge. Just gonna squeeze the water. I always have that sitting in water for times like this. And I'm just going to take the burnt umber, really thin that down. And I'm just going to darken the edge. Now with this here, what I should have done was put some matte medium on this first, because that way it would move really easy. I didn't. I'm going to deal with it. And also when you're rubbing on paper, raw paper, you end up, it pills up. It gets all bumpy. But if it's got matte medium on there, the paper won't wear out so fast. But this is fine. I'm actually liking the color of that. That doesn't mean that I can't put matte medium on there still once this is dry, if I need to. There we go. So somebody else asked me, and I thought, you know, I wasn't going to share this information. I thought, you know what, I get the email at least every other day, so I might as well get it out in the open. People are asking me, like, because I retired from doing the formal teaching of art for, well, not teaching art for profit, teaching art and then basically covering the expenses. But why am I doing so many videos? It's my way of giving back. Joe and I are very blessed to, you know, we've been entrepreneurs for over 20 years, closer to 22, 23 years. We've been together, I think we're approaching our 26th year. And we have, you know, 3 other businesses that, you know, we rely on. And this is just the art. I need to do this just for stress release, but it's by way of giving back. And I also want to take this time to thank Michael Lann and Gail for being moderators in our Facebook group, helping me out, look after people. And, you know, it's a great, and then Sue, who was my helper before, She's retired from me now, and now she's focusing on creating her own amazing art. Look at that. Isn't that beautiful? Yeah, so this is my way of giving back. There we go. See, it was a lot better talking through that than just dead air, right? Okay, you're still wet, but you're still wet. Okay, I can't paint the metallic on this because what's going to happen with metallic when you get into gesso, it's not metallic anymore. So I'm going to let this dry, and then when it's finished, I will come back and work on the next step. Let's take the champagne, and I just wanted to really find something neutral. That's too neutral. Okay, I'm going to take the transparent red iron oxide with the burnt umber. I wanted something a little bit darker. Let me just put a light layer on top. Let me get some matte medium on that. Yeah, it's too neutral. Let's get some matte medium. So matte medium is going to make it more transparent and also give me the slippiness. So when I glue everything down, I'll be able to move stuff around. The transparent red iron oxide with the burnt umber just gives it a nice aged look to it. But the champagne, I was hoping that it was going to be a little bit darker. It's not. I know what I'm going to do. I'm going to mix it with the burnt umber. Aged bronze. Aged bronze. Now, when you use matte medium along with the paint, it does take a little bit longer to dry. But you're going to have a nice feeling on it. The paper's going to be covering a lot of this. But you know what? Might as well do a good job. And we're going to put the burnt umber on the side there. I may even try raw umber. Not sure. Not sure. Okay, I'm going to let that dry for a sec. I'm going to experiment first just with the aged bronze with the champagne. I'm not sure if I just what I want. No, I want to make it more the champagne because I've got that piece there. So I'm just going to randomly put the two together. So it's going to be more the champagne. Yeah, that's actually nice. Because it's slightly see-through, slightly transparent. So it gives a nice, the paint underneath gives it a nice look. Oh, that is really pretty. And if you're using thin stock, you can apply the entire part to it if you want, because what it's going to do is you're going to build up strength of your card. Yeah, this looks like liquid metal. I love the Decor Art Metallics. Absolutely love it. Especially on the edges, you can really go nice and thick with this. In the middle, I'm going to randomly put some of that stuff around. Here we go. Nice. There we go. So now that's not dark enough. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the burnt umber and I'm just going to put some burnt umber right in here to see what that's at, because this is going to be covering it. No, I think I'm going to go something darker than that. Let me go and get the black and see what that's going to do. So I've got the matte metallics charcoal. So I'm going to think of it just as darkening it just a speck. Just a speck, just a speck. There we go. Not everywhere, just on the ridges. There we go, like that. Because this is going to be on top, so I really just want the contrast on the sides so it sticks out. Okay, we're going to get over there. Put that over there. And now with this being here, I can choose to leave that or just put something underneath. I'm going to put this paper underneath. Now I can choose to have it How about we do this? How about we use something that's already dry? So I could choose to do something like that, but I was wondering about getting something with the words. The words are in the wrong spot. The words are in the wrong spot. The quote's going to be there. Shazbot. How about... I'm not sure if this is going to work. I'm just trying it right now. And then that will be there on top. No. Let's stick to the original plan. I'm just going to use this one here. I've got another part of paper towel. It's just the effect of color. I don't want to lose that. I don't want to lose that. Let's use this one. So I just want to put that there, and then I'm going to put this over her face. Yeah, that's going to work. All right. Thank you, Mr. Card. I can do this while it's wet, but you really should wait for it to dry. And I'm just going to put this on there. It will likely change color because this napkin is very transparent. All right. There. This is all going to be covered up, except the edges. It was just the edge here I needed. And then we're going to put her right, oops. Not far enough. Ooh, that's cool. She wasn't far enough. Could have used sheer material for this too. Go. Just going to dry that for a sec. And I'm going to put matte medium on the back of this one. And between that, make sure that your paint is dry so you don't get any paint transferred over to the artwork. I'm just going to put matte medium right here. You could use the thick gel medium as well, because that'll have some good contact. All right, more on the right. I can tell where there isn't any because this is sticking up, so I'll just put brush underneath. There we go. Nice. And you're going to go right on top of there. Oh, I just realized this is a straight edge. Oh, you know what? I'm not mucking around with it right now. I'm not going to muck around with it right now. Put that there. And I'm putting this down first before placing the rope, because this one here is about the quote. And get the quote. Liquid glass is what I would typically use for this, but I'm out. I'm just waiting for it to come in the mail, and things are a bit slow right now with mail, which is totally fine. That. And then like that. So let's... Oh, yeah, I'm going to put that on there, then I'm going to add it after, because I want to edge the card. Okay. I'm going to use the burnt umber and a transparent red iron oxide. And the cosmetic sponge is slightly damp. Oh, there I am. And as soon as I do this, I'm going to immediately clean my scissors. And if Joe saw me do that, he'd frickin' rip my head off. You can do this with an ink pad. You can do this with whatever you want. And because the sponge is damp, it's giving a nice vintage edge to it. I can use the other side just to remove a bit of the extra paint. You guys must think Joe's an ogre when it comes to you guys. If you guys knew how much of an accident, I hit my head on the refrigerator this morning because I was in. We have the refrigerators that's got the French doors, but the bottom is one whole freezer on the bottom. I had opened up the door, the bottom door, and I was getting frozen vegetables for Mia. Mia, every time we opened the freezer door, she's got this thing as she wants some frozen vegetables. So I was doing that, and I lifted my head up, and I hit the handle of the door with my head. Don't ask me how, because it's just, I don't know. Joe goes, "Woman, what the hell?" Oh, my God. There we go. And I was just looking. I've got these little brads. These little fasteners. That would have been really nice if I would have had a shorter quote and I could have put them in there. That's going to be for another project. I'll do that. All right. That should be tacky enough. There we go. Leave that one free floating. I'm going to come around here, seeing where I'm making contact. And just come in. I'm using my grip tools, cotton swabs, and I'm just kind of filling it in. This will go it's transparent, but it will have a bit of a matte finish to it. So I could have used the heavy gloss medium, but I didn't want it to compete so much with the metallics. This should be all right. And her head now is just right in there. There we go. Voila. So I'm going to let this dry for a day before taking a picture of it. But I'll post a picture in the Facebook group. I'll post a picture of the finished piece. And if you're watching this on YouTube, you'll see it as the cover image over there. But what to do is, if you're watching this on YouTube, click on over to the Facebook group, because that's where I'm doing all my feedback over there. All right. So if you're in the Facebook group, yay. What to do is post a picture of your version of this. So take some cardboard, go to graphicsfairy.com and just take a picture, find a printable. A lot of them are free. Print it out. If you don't have a printer, grab a magazine, grab anything that you can cut out, and just take something random, whether you use string, or let's say if you have a torn bed sheet. Thank you, Mia. Torn bed sheet. Well, she was a puppy. She doesn't do that anymore. And you can cut strips of that, and you can use that to wrap it around a focal point. This just emphasizes a focal point. And then you can create a little quote like this: "Put your mind into planning today, look into the future." You can use mini stamps. You can handwrite it. I'm working with a fountain pen now, so I'm practicing my writing to slow me down. But I'd like to see your version of this. So post a picture and add some text to it, like, what type of feedback you're looking for. If saying, here's my version, what do you think? Just don't post a picture and leave it like that, because you won't get any feedback. And I look forward to seeing what you've done. Alrighty? So until I see you in the next lesson, stay inspired.